During the Student Senate meeting yesterday, a panel was held to discuss the future of Wartburg. Dean of Students Dan Kittle was a part of that panel, and he joins me this morning to talk a little bit more about that. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So the big idea of this was to sort of give a grasp on the future of the college. Can you fill us in a little bit?
Yeah, so we have in the process of launching what's called Focus on the Future, which is a constituent-based planning process. So if you think about it, we're getting ready to conclude a 10-year strategic plan in 2020, and we've also concluded our campaign, our fundraising campaign early. So there's a lot of really positive momentum for the college to say, okay, what are the half a dozen or so strategic priorities and how we pursue those. So that's what yesterday was, to say, okay, we're transitioning to this focus on the future, here are the 7 priorities, and then obviously get students engaged in that process.
Cool. Could you give us sort of an idea, what are some of the bigger of the 7 priorities, if there are any?
I wouldn't say one is bigger than the other, except that they're rooted in different areas of the institution. So, for example, you have engineering and health sciences, which are obviously principally within the academic realm, and so considering new majors, expanding those programs. And then the others that come to mind would be the regional partnerships and experiential learning and entrepreneurial endeavors. And those are opportunities looking to extend the college's reach either into markets in which we're already in, like Des Moines or Denver through Wartburg West or the Des Moines program, or exploring new markets and new opportunities. But what I would say is that overall is what the mission of the college is really strong. Anybody who comes on campus, students, faculty, staff, guests, that's the strength of the institution. How can we extend that call to ensure students lead lives of leadership and service to new audiences? And that, I think, is one of the underlying principles or ideas of the whole process.
Cool. So another thing that was mentioned at the panel yesterday was the issue of sexual misconduct on campus. There was some controversy as to whether or not the college was handling that properly. Sure. Can you explain the process that goes into that?
Sure. So, I honestly wouldn't say it was controversy so much as that the gentleman wanted to raise the issue, which at the time I said was, I applaud him for that. I mean, I think, there are things that keep a dean of students up at night, and sexual misconduct, alcohol abuse, are things that, and mental health are things that keep me awake at night, that worry me. And so I was happy to hear him raise the issue. I mean, as far as how the college handles it, it's very well prescribed in our student handbook, but I would just highlight and just raise students' awareness to say the part that obviously starts the whole process is reporting. And so there are multiple ways in which students can report, but that's the takeaway, is that if there are these incidents happening, if students are concerned about individual safety, they should be reporting those to either myself, Karen Thalacker, John Myers, or any faculty or staff member on campus.
You also mentioned yesterday that there were some changes that have been implemented.
Yeah.
To sort of make the process a little bit more safe and more, I guess, better for the victims.
Yeah, and that's absolutely, and that's in response to the Department of Justice. The Obama administration really focused on this issue and worked with experts in the field to change some of the best practices. And so in the past, as you picked up yesterday, if you were at the Senate meeting, there was a hearing board. And we've moved away from that. We, as in other words, all college and university. And now the focus is really on ensuring there's a report, and then their investigators, there would be a male and a female that would investigate and interview both parties and multiple parties, witness to that, and then make a recommendation to the Title IX coordinator, who is Karen Thalacker. And then any appeal would come to myself as Dean of Students. I mean, there's obviously other pieces of the process, but I think those are the highlights of the process that we have in place.
Okay, good. Well, that's about all we have time for. So
Sure.
Thanks once again
my
for
pleasure.
coming in this morning. We'll be right back after the break.